Hey guys, sup, Ryu here for the Yugioh Council with the Let's Talk Episode 2. I'm just recording it just in case. The first one's a hit, so I can actually work on ideas for the second one. These are ideas that basically are a little more one-shot-ish kind of way, but more edited, let's put it that way. More time and thought put into the process. So, random thought of the day for Let's Talk about it, is basically this here. Your extra deck is the most important tool you have in the game right now. Some people will argue, no, that's not true, it's your side deck. This is pretty much 15 cards that you want to go into that are key cards to give you the game victory. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy. So these 15 cards, obviously because I'm working on new Blue Eyes, I'm going to have the new Blue Eyes out, need to be the 15 most important cards you're going to run to go against everything and anything, and of course certain cards like these three that are going to give you speed to your graveyard, disrupt your opponent, anything of that sort, just give you some sort of advantage. Like this is a disruption card you can't play, Yugioh kind of style. Kind of like Cyber Dragon Infinity. You gotta think of it that way. And then this is pretty much like, in theory, this is I want to put stuff back to the board, I'm going to make combos. All these aspects to an extra deck are super crucial. Now, why is it something like Monarchs can get away without an extra deck or get away with an extra deck? And that's pretty much why you've seen extra deck Monarchs become a thing. This may be taken out, just fair warning. So that's a thing that has been coming up lately in my idea pool, to say the least. The extra deck is the 15 most important cards you can ever run. And it's ever changing, and I know some people hate that, because you have to go against new threats. So if I'm going against Blue Eyes, what can I really do with my extra deck to make the use out of it? I need like one card I can go into and just shit on their lives. This is a great example. If I'm playing something like Dragoonies, I can bring this out without altering too much of my deck. If I'm playing Synchrons, I could sure as hell bring this out without altering too much of my deck. Don't alter your deck to alter your extra deck to make room for something that's new and cool, because at the end of the day, unless it's going to do something for you and give you an advantage, it's really not worth your time or the space. Now, some people have preferences, like myself. I like to run my 3 Azurais, my 3 Spirit Dragons, and currently my Twin Burst Dragon, which I'm really thinking about taking out. Now, the reason I do this is because I always like the term player preference, where basically you're comfortable like in your own skin, and that's something that's very difficult, not just for Yu-Gi-Oh players, but for everyone in general. And it's a term that most people don't really like to, talk about, but I like to pull it from that context and basically go into player preference, being comfortable in your own skin. It takes time, it takes work, and it doesn't come easy, and it doesn't come, overnight. It's something that you constantly work at to get that preference right. And I think Robbie Cole and Cole40 said it right a few years ago, where basically just stick to your deck when you're playing competitive. One card could completely change the way you run your deck. And some people may not understand that whole tech theory, and why I run Tech Tuesday on the channel so much is because that one card can completely change the way you look at your deck. It can completely change the way the deck plays. This is a great example in something like Blue Eyes right now that I could take, and if I wasn't running it before and I was running Dragon Shrine, it instantly changes the deck by handing me 2 cards I really do want in my hand. 1 to reveal, 1 to special summon, and after special summon is placed on the board, I now have trade-in bait, meaning that trade-in is alive, and I get 2 more cards from my deck. That's 4 cards out of my deck, all because I decided to run 1 new card that I was not running before. So it comes down to player preference, but this all adds up to the extra deck. Your extra deck is pretty much your first countermeasure. And when I say your first countermeasure, the first second you're going against a deck and you have a bad matchup in that case, you can pretty much change the tide in the sense of getting rid of threats from your opponent's board, being the aggressor, and being able to win a match that typically you wouldn't before you can get into your side deck, meaning that you have that one victory over the one that you need. Basically, instead of taking a loss and pretty much not focusing on it because your extra deck, no offense, is subpar, you made the most of your extra deck and you gave it your all. Now, this also goes into a theory that basically you shouldn't quit out in a game unless you 100% know there's no way you're winning. Regardless whatever skill level you are, it's how you evolve at the game. It's iron against iron. If I take these two pieces and I bang them against each other, pretty much the whole sense is that these were two pieces of iron, they would strengthen up. And this is pretty much your extra deck. You have to constantly work at your extra deck by going against better and better players, better decks, and fine-tuning it to your preference. All these things come together to form your one most powerful tool in this game, which is the extra deck. The extra deck is the most crucial part of your deck. Now, if you're running Monarchs and you're running no extra deck Monarchs, that's because that's the deck style. We'll get into that in another video, in another Let's Talk edition. I was about to say Let's Play, because I do so many Let's Plays on the RyuAvalonGaming channel. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in as always. If you enjoy the Let's Talk, we're going to be doing more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to let us know you enjoy it, and we'll see you later. Peace.